Hi, my name's Andy Jackson. I'm here to read a couple of poems from my new book, Human Looking. I want to thank WestWords for the opportunity to do this reading and also pay my respects to the elders of the Dja people on whose land these poems are being read and on whose land the poems were written. I'll read 4 poems. This first one is the first poem from the book. The book overall, Human Looking, deals with that double meaning of human looking, what it means to be the subject of staring, what it's like to be on the margins of humanity because of how we look or how we appear to others. And it really delves into that encounter between people. And part of that is in the poems themselves. So this one opening is a riff on what it's like to have a very long scar on your body and the daydream or the nightmare around that. Opening. The incision, mine anyway, begins below the back of the neck and ends just above the coccyx. Surgical stitches quietly dissolve, leave a thick scar, a blurred, insistent line. As each layer of skin dies, it whispers to the next the form and story of the wound. This is how I continue, intact. Yet now, as I strain to lift this too heavy object, the long suture ruptures in my head, the scar tearing open. You might think this visceral confession only an image of mine, but you are becoming this unstitching, this sudden opening. Many of the poems in this book deal with revisiting historical figures, visual art, and myths from the point of view of disability. This one is called Sisyphus, deformed, looks back over his shoulder. The hill is everywhere beyond my front door, and what I carry can never be put down. It's hard to remember a time when this weight was separate from my body. Aware it's being watched, the skin grows quickly over a burden, hardens like a myth, but keeps its sensitivity. There's a constant hum in my inner ear, and my nervous system is awash with fatigue. The enduring task is to leave the house, practice the art of oblivion, as if that could deflect your attention. At least it's exercise or rehearsal for what I'm not sure. Am I lifting history, your thoughts of me? The hill could be the entire human world. The hill could be my shame. Steadfast and cumbersome. Each morning I wake spent, begin again, scale and descend, scale and descend. The steep face of my appearance. Who else clambers up this fateful inclination, assumes this otherness? At the summit, breathless, alone, all I can do now is take it in, the vertiginous outlook I never asked for. I have left these impressions in the earth. I will be followed. This third poem is called Formity. It is a kind of collaborative poem that I've written along with an author by the name of William Hay, who wrote in 1754 an essay called Deformity. And he was self-identifying as deformed and wrote an essay about what that experience was like. And I loved what he wrote so much. Also, I found a lot of it quite strange too. I wanted to collaborate with him, so I'm alternating lines in the poem with him. but they're stitched together to make one whole thing. So this is called Formity. Imagine a print of me in the frontispiece, or a proliferating meme in the ether. I am indeed a perfect riddle. The disfigured can't be figured, cannot look with proper confidence in the face of another. You don't quite know what it's like. Out of tenderness they taught me to be ashamed. What else might explain this awkwardness of my outward get-up and behaviour, this dream of entering the body of another? Ever conscious what an untoward subject does to the atmosphere in a room or a poem, I feel a reluctance in opening my mouth. Who knows what might come out or in? A deformed person should not assume borrowed feathers, or that language can speak louder than flesh. Contempt attends him like his shadow, reminding him of his ill figure, as if to figure was not also to think. When I die, I care not what becomes of this carcass. While I live, let me care what becomes of you. I desire my body may be opened, as these words are opened and never fixed. And I am a good subject of speculation, for all in me is nature, an image blurred against the retina, the pleasure of one escaped. This last poem is called Microbiome, and of course it is a response to the fact that we do have many creatures living inside us. It starts with a quote from the author William Bryant Logan from their book Dirt, The Ecstatic Skin of the Earth. While we live, we ourselves are inhabited. Microbiome. In the earth, prepared and silent, what will I be offering you? It's said the menu opens with the liver and the brain for their wealth of enzymes and water, the heart before the bones. But so many of you are already here at this soft table, always hungry, unfussy. I've been feeding you protein, fiber, starch, sugar, paper and ink, self-consciousness, the crimson jolt of the rosella in the leafless tree, my own dying cells, hesitation in the face of violence, more water, the scent of the skin of the one I love, confusion with almost everything else. And what will you make of all this turning? Warm compost, what remains? Thanks again. Beautiful to read for you from Human Looking, and warm wishes